All right. No intro music again. Hey, you know, these guys, Jiu-Jitsu Pro Gear should sponsor us because they're getting a lot of play in the background. But here we are. It's not mobile Knuckle Up. It is on location Knuckle Up. We're on location again at TEAM SERAO MMA. I promised him to you a couple of weeks ago, and he stood me up a couple of times. But he is here now on the hot seat. This is our second, well, actually, it's our third or fourth live in location. Angelo Henry, ladies and gentlemen, Angelo Henry. Welcome to the show. Knuckle Up. You're going to have to sit in the seat.
In the hot seat.
Ah, there you go. He's actually not that much taller than me. The seat is higher. All right, so the motto that we have on the show is discovering tomorrow's stars today. So last time you had a fight, you were scheduled to come in before the fight, and that fight ended up not happening.
Yeah.
So what fight was that?
It was me against Mike Jenkins and Salinas at Central Coast Throwdown.
Okay.
For the Bad Blood.
Is this Camel?
Yeah, it was under Camel for the middleweight championship, Central Coast middleweight championship.
Now, how many times have you fought with Camel before?
Oh, probably about 8 times.
And what's your record so far?
Through Camel, I've won every fight except one through Camel, so that's a 7-1.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, is there some formula about how many amateur fights you have before you even consider going pro? Is this up to your coach, or how are you thinking about this?
Well,
because you have a birthday coming up.
Oh,
you
yeah.
You had one.
Yeah, had one.
How old were you?
I'm 23. Yeah, nah, but
that means I was doing this when he was born. That's what that means. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, the time, it's really on the coach, Eugene.
Yeah.
Like, but
not this Eugene. Eugene Jackson, who might come into frame later.
Yeah, but pretty much it's just like, well, some guys go right into pros without even going to amateurs.
Yeah.
You know, but the way I feel about it is, you know, you want to be ready. You want to have all your tools.
Yep.
So, you know, like an amateur loss isn't such a big deal because when you go pro, you're 0-0 like everybody else.
Right.
So you want to get all the bugs out now.
Yep.
Learn, get in front of those crowds. Learn how to mix it up.
Yep.
You know, come with your own style. See what you're comfortable with.
Yep.
So
Not freak out. Yeah, they talk about that, like just the adrenaline dump that comes from being in front of a lot of people. But now, did you wrestle in high school?
I practiced with the wrestling team in high school, but I did more wrestling after high school in freestyle tournaments and Greco-Roman tournaments.
Really?
Through USA Wrestling.
Gary, who's the cat who said that? I've had him on the show. Gary, not Gary Cole. I can't remember his last name, but he's now the head of USA Wrestling. So how did you skip high school wrestling but just go straight to US Wrestling?
Well, my uncle Berto Dixon, right. he wrestled for Panama in the Olympics. So, like,
was he a medalist?
No. He was an alternate because my aunt didn't sign the papers to cross him over from America back to Panama.
Right.
Because he got a citizenship here, but they had to cross him over.
I remember this.
Yeah, she didn't sign the papers. She didn't have time. So he was actually supposed to be the one representing the 145s.
Right.
But he didn't get to go.
So this was like a family affair then. So you started. When did you start wrestling? How old were you?
17.
17. Wow. Okay. Well, shit. That's still a pretty fast come up. For 6 years we're talking about. So okay, so you trained with the wrestling team, but you were already doing this Greco-Roman stuff. So when did you decide to get into MMA?
When I was 16. I moved here when I was about 15 years old.
Right.
And Eugene Jackson.
From Panama.
From Seaside first.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then from Seaside, I came to Palo Alto. When I came to Palo Alto, I met Eugene Jackson through my cousin Nigel.
Okay.
And he used to play for his football team.
Okay.
His Pop Warner team.
Oh, yeah.
And then my cousin Nigel introduced me to Eugene because I couldn't find any boxing gyms. I didn't know the area so well. And he introduced Eugene, who did MMA.
Right.
He introduced me to MMA.
Right.
He just he liked my heart, my passion.
Yep.
And he took me in. I was getting a little bit of trouble out there. He got me out of my trouble, all my little burdens, and then
this is a different type of trouble. You might get paid for this trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Pretty much from there, he took me and taught me everything I know today, and I was under his wing the whole time. I introduced MMA.
Yeah, that's all right. Now you say, I remember talking to you. You say your Uncle Berto, he's not so into MMA.
No.
Does he still follow wrestling though?
Yes. He's one of the.
You got guys like that.
He's one of the head referees of USA Wrestling. He's M1.
Yep.
Yeah, and he coaches for Monterey High.
Yep.
And he also is a coach for the Monterey Bay Wrestling Club.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. See, these guys, I made the claim before on the show before that these guys, like boxing people, have nothing to really, they feel competitive with MMA, but there's still going to be a market for purists because if you want to learn clean wrestling, you go to a wrestling guy. You don't go to an MMA guy. Clean boxing, go to a boxing guy.
Exactly.
So these guys need to stick to their I'm totally okay with them sticking to their specialties. Jim Lampley from ABC Sports considers MMA like speaking fake Chinese. That's something else. He's not teaching anybody anything. He's interpreting this stuff for the general public. I think he needs to do a better job. But maybe he's changed his mind. So, okay, so that fight was canceled. Was it canceled because Jenkins pulled out?
Well, the thing that happened was the hepatitis test takes 2 days to get results, and the HIV test takes a day. So my HIV test got done. Hepatitis test took 2 days.
Right.
It came in the day like midnight. It's the strike of midnight of the fight.
Okay.
So it came in early. It came in. It was up to par. Everything got clear.
So you do not have hepatitis?
No.
That's because
Everything was clear for me to fight.
Because then the rest of the interview good.
Yeah. Everything was cleared, but the word got back to Jenkins at the point where he was like he didn't want to fight anymore.
He didn't want to fight anymore.
He didn't want to fight anymore. Yeah, he pretty much didn't want to fight anyway, but he didn't want to fight anymore now because he was like, I already went out to the bar. I thought that I wasn't.
Mike Jenkins, alcoholic. Who the fuck is going to a bar the night before your fight? Even if you, anyway.
Exactly. I feel like, and the way I feel about it is to show professionalism to your fans and people who support you.
Yeah.
Like Muhammad Ali said, the fight is won long before you get in the ring under the lights.
Yeah.
So to show professionalism to your fans, what you're supposed to do, even if you don't know who you're fighting or anything like that, or if you don't know if the fight's going to go on, you show up on weight, on the scale, at the fight, just to show you were ready. Even if your opponent was ready. So to me, that wasn't really flying.
Well, see, the thing is, if you're used to amateur fighting, man, these amateur fight associations never want to give you back your fee. So I've been in fights, and like I got nobody in my bracket. They say you never know what'll happen because they don't want you to, after the fight's over, then you get your
you can get a guy in the last minute. You can get a guy come from the audience that has a fighter's license that they just got to sub in.
Okay, so now that was canceled, but we decided to rather than wait till last second when you're into fight mode, you have another one coming up.
Yeah, the state tournament.
The state tournament, which is when?
It's September 23rd is the first round.
So that's coming up actually pretty soon. This show will air tomorrow. So
yeah.
All right. So we got a couple weeks. All right. September 23rd. Where's that going to be?
It's going to be at the Saddle Rack in Fremont.
Okay.
I'm fighting alongside Rogue Empire teammates Nico Jackson, and Casey Jackson, and Brandon Hester.
All you guys are fighting?
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be a blast. September 23rd. I might be around. So, all right. Do you know who you're fighting?
I'm fighting Anthony Hernandez.
From what school?
I think he's from school in. Is he from school in Fresno or San Jose? We didn't really look at the school because there's two Anthony Hernandez. One comes from LA.
Yeah.
But they're both in the tournament.
Okay.
At 185.
All right.
This guy, he's 4-0. He looks like a pretty good stand-up fighter.
And you weighed in at what today?
Today I weighed in 192. But I'm in safe range.
Okay, well, you're with a wrestler, you could. That's not a lot of weight to lose. All right, so Anthony Hernandez, September 23rd. Now, if people listening want to, you have a fighter page, or what do you have?
Yeah, I have my fan page.
Okay.
That's www.facebook.com/KILEN as in name, UM as in man.
Why do you make that shit so fucking difficult, man? What's just Angelo Henry? What's wrong with So do it again, because I didn't even get that.
www.facebook.com/KILENUM6.
Okay, he's
Killing.
There you go.
And then the Twitter is @KillingHim.
Here we go. This is the guy when I said he was talking about the other Eugene. There we go. That is the other Eugene. Eugene the Wolf Jackson.
The Wolf.
Yeah.
That's the rocker.
This is not only that, he is one of the first pro MMA guys who I fought. And I was telling your son Nico, when I fought you for the first time, he was like maybe not even born. He was like 2, which is
He was thought about. I'll put work in it.
And I was at Dave Silvestri's place in Pacifica, I first met you.
Catch wrestling.
Catch wrestling style, yeah. So you got Angelo Henry coming up. You got Nico coming up September 23rd, the Camo fights. Do you have something in mind about how long you expect before these guys go pro? Do you have a schedule or a system, or is it just, come up as she comes up?
It comes up as it comes up. Most people want to rush their guys in.
Yeah.
If you look at John Jones's, if you look at like Cain Velasquez, look at them. Those guys locked down their craft before they crossed over.
Yep.
So lock your craft down. Too many guys, oh, I need to get there. I need to get paid now. Well, yeah, you can have 40 fights. Like the Rhino just got his ass knocked out in the first round out there.
Mike, what's his name? I know who you're talking about.
You know, but the White Rhino.
Yep.
He just went out to the Super Fight League and got knocked out by a nobody, a guy that was 10-6. Yeah. And it's because fights don't mean anything. Yeah. It's your caliber of fighting and the guys that you fight against. So like I said, that's why we're here with Leo, because the jiu-jitsu is super solid. We're coming from an organization that this is where his mindset's on no gi.
Yep.
Then we look for our wrestlers like Tim and Daniel Cormier.
Yep.
So when you got those two, now you got
Tim Lasik.
Yes. So now you got the root.
Yeah.
And then you start taking your boxing like Javier Carbajal and Eloy Ramirez and Mike Bowser and them. So now you're fixing all of those the idiosyncrasies of this.
Yep.
And then let's say, so now I put them in all these different little matches, and let's say they look horrible. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we need to fix that. Yeah. You need to walk through. It's like, you know Cooper, Bill Cooper?
Yep.
Okay, him, smart.
Yeah.
What did he do? He went into the went into Camel.
Yep.
And if he can finish everybody in the first round, all the way to the championship, then I'll go pro. Yeah. If they can't wipe everybody out and just get them like, you don't belong here with me, then you're still an amateur.
Yep.
You know, you're doing 2-minute rounds or 3-minute rounds, and you need to go. You need to be able to run through these guys like, dude, wrong dude, wrong dude, time to go, and keep. And then we can cross over. And then after they do this MMA wise, I want to see how do they fare as a boxer.
Yep.
I want you. I don't want you going against the chumps that we know you can beat. I want the guys that can rape you.
True MMA.
Yes.
True MMA. Yeah.
And then when they cross over, in 9 fights, they're making real money because you know what? We get the first one out the way to get the butterflies out the way. We get the second one, we go a little bit harder, and by their 9th fight, they're fighting ex-champs or guys that are relevant.
You know what a successful career is? A long career.
Exactly.
A long career is a successful career. Cody McKenzie is not successful, man. One and done is not successful. I don't want to pick on dude, but I'm just saying, you know, he was on the show for fucking 13 weeks and now not a prospect. So, well, thanks for coming to the show. It's been a long time, you know. If people want to check out Rogue Empire, where do they go?
RogueEmpire.com. RogueEmpireMMA.com.
There you go. There you go.
The Facebook page and Twitter. Rogue Empire's on Twitter and Facebook.
What other show gives you this? You know, in a few weeks, I'm gonna bust out a secret here. In a few weeks, one of the guys who was instrumental in starting Combat Music Radio, Phil Anselmo, who sings for Pantera and now sings for Down, is coming on the show. That's a secret. Which you know, not no more. I'm gonna go to Louisiana and talk to him. So that is a deal. Some magazines paying for me to do it, and then we're gonna double it up and have it for the show. So
going to the huh?
Yeah. Well, you know, they're still actually they're fucked up from the.
Yeah, they have water out there.
Yeah, so we're waiting for that.
Well, let me know because I'm out there. All my family's out there.
Yep.
We just got back there 2 weeks ago.
That'll be fun, man. Go down Anselmo's place. He's got money. I like guys with money. You know? So anyway, okay, this is the first installment of Knuckle Up on location. I got to thank Eugene Jackson, Rogue Empire. Check him out, Facebook. And we got Angelo Henry, September 23rd, the Saddle Rack in Fremont. You heard his Facebook page. You can find him through me on Facebook if it's too confusing. Kill him. What was it? What was the number again?
KILENUM 6.
Kill him 6. That I can remember.
Shout out to So Clutch too. So Clutch, you can find me.
There you go. And so and you know what this means? He's come on the show. He's got the show karma. He'll win. So he'll come back and we'll talk about his amazing victory after September 23rd. So thank you, sir. And then we'll continue with the rest of the show from a better location where I can clean up and get all this powder off my face. Thanks for listening. All right. All right, so we finished the location Knuckle Up, round number 221, I believe, or 222. I am lost. There's some kid in a martial arts uniform lurking around outside my van. He's got martial arts uniform and a helmet on. I don't want to put him on the show because I don't think his parents would like it. But the look is a strange one. If you're doing a martial art that requires it, he's got a purple belt, which would make him a higher belt than I am. But somehow he has to wear an orange helmet while practicing his martial art. Either it's the world's most dangerous martial art, or he's a retard. Is it it's politically in hey, look, I don't fall for that stuff, you know. The guy, you know what the guy who sleeps on the street is? That guy's a bum. Sorry. If it's a family, they're homeless. If it's just a single guy and he's under 50, that guy's a bum. Because if you're under 50 and you're homeless, I expect you to be in prison. You know? Which means that you try to do something to improve your lot in life, which is where I will soon find myself. You know? I mean, prison has all the amenities of home without any of the problems of home. Doesn't cost me anything. I got to fight to keep from getting anally reamed. And I got a job, which is more than I could say for life outside of prison. You know, yeah, the whole O.J. Simpson thing is very funny. Dave Chappelle, you know, I of course believe that O.J. Simpson killed those people. You know, but placing my opinion in the minority. But Chappelle actually got he you know, he's a comedian, but he got me. Yeah, you know, he got my mind right. He goes, suddenly it dawns on the rest of America that there's something fucked up about the justice system. One getaway, and everybody's freaking out. My hair is not looking so good. My mother told me I should dye it all white. It's interesting. Interesting idea. I'm tipping my hand about all the secrets, which means that the only 40 or 50 of you who actually listen to the show know this shit. So don't blog this stuff or write this stuff up on. Make the motherfuckers listen to the show. If you want the good stuff, you're going to listen to the show. So anyway, I've dressed. I got the spray off of my face. So I'm going to finish up the show. We had an interview with Eugene the Wolf Jackson, MMA fighter, former UFC fighter. Angelo Henry, tomorrow stars today. A great story. You got the Panamanian thing, international, Greco-Roman, you know, as well as a lifelong. I mean, the guy is 6 years into mixed martial arts, you know, and what's his record? Like 8-1, 11-1. It's incredible. A good amateur record, tough guy. And at 185 in a division that will require him to be both good and tough. So we had real interviews. We had on location stuff. This is going to be another short show because tomorrow I fly off to Wyoming to do to spend 2 days at Scion doing something for Scion. I have no idea. I think I'm supposed to be speaking about what? No idea. All I've been told is that I can't blow it. If I blow it, I'll lose a lot of money. And I said, well, what constitutes blowing it? You need to be fucking more specific than that. I need some specificity. I could blow it any number of ways. And he said, well, in past years, people have had problems with alcohol. I was like, oh, okay. You know, I thought you were talking about breaking into the hotel safe and absconding with all the cash. I mean, I didn't realize I'm not likely to go in there and get drunk, you know. I'm only lick it up at an Oxbow show. Actually, you'd be surprised, much like Kevin Weeks in the fight book, I spend very little of my time in public being liquored up. If you call me at home at 3 in the morning, I might be liquored up, sobbing. Actually, I don't, you know what, I don't spend I joke about sobbing, but I sob at weird and inappropriate times. Well, it may be completely appropriate given the fact that sobbing is like laughing, not something within your control. Like Meet Joe Black. Brad Pitt, Anthony Hopkins, fine motion picture brought me to tears. Or Scrooged, the Bill Murray movie with Bill Murray. It's convenient that a Bill Murray movie would have Bill Murray in it. Brought me to tears. Of course, when I'm in tears, I'm murderous. Dangerous. It's like you don't fuck with a guy who's singing My Way at karaoke. The guy's got issues. Don't fuck with Mr. Zero. In any case, let's get to MMA. Let's focus a little bit. For 5 minutes, since it's going to be a short show anyway. Because I want to listen to the Democratic National thing. I got to pack my stuff for not blowing it in Jackson Hole, Wyoming at the Scion Festival. I got nothing but this piece of paper. I'm supposed to show up in the airport. Meals and beverages. So, I'm going to talk about something. And good news, you know, Oxbow's playing ATP. You got 6 dates with Oxbow Orchestra in October. 6 or 7 ATP. Then I go on tour for 2 weeks with L'Enfance Rouge. Come back, kick ass. I got to go September 29th to fight in New York. I'm going to be trying to write an article for some Australia magazine on veterinarians. I don't know. You know, I need the cash. I need the cash to restore equilibrium to my life. Speaking of which, none of you motherfuckers gave me anything for this birthday thing. Not a card, not an email, nothing. You know. Maybe you don't care. Maybe that's it. Maybe you don't care. I understand that. I don't care either. I don't care. You don't care. We all don't care. It's a big party of not caring. It's okay. I remember. Never ask me for anything. You guys always write me for stuff. Hey, Eugene, could you, what could I? You know a guy who I haven't seen, literally, I hadn't seen since the fucking 80s. The guy called me up and asked me to kick somebody's ass for him. I go, yeah, I'll be glad to do that. What are you going to pay? He goes, well, this is a favor. I said, you know what a favor is? A favor is paying $100 for my monthly fucking jiu-jitsu fee. That'd be a favor. A favor is paying me fucking $400 so I could buy some food. You know, it depends on how badly you want this guy's ass kicked. What has he done? Well, he fucked with my grandmother. Oh, the guy's abusing an elder. You know, I think old people should be allowed to proceed hither and yon without being molested, but, you know, you're asking me to do work. Do it yourself. That's free. So some woman asked me, "Oh, could you play a charity of a benefit?" You know, I'm sorry. I'd like to help you with your benefit, except my benefit trumps your benefit. So anyway, I've gotten far afield. I want to talk about one MMA thing. Of course, this was the weekend of the aborted UFC 151. You know, if you've been paying attention at all, you see that Jon Jones says he was actually out of his pocket going to pay back the guys on the undercard till they started talking shit about him. You know what? That's a mark of how nice the fucking guy is. No way do I do that. No fucking way. Yeah, I feel sorry for you guys, but I didn't cancel a fucking fight. Your beef is with the boss. I was scheduled to fight an old man. The old man I was scheduled to fight didn't show up. You want to renegotiate the contract? I was scheduled. Look, you know, it's like I show up to paint the house pink. You tell me you want to paint the house purple. I only got pink paint. So you either let me paint the house pink, force the old man to fight, or you give me some time to get the right color fucking paint. I don't give a fuck what it looks like. You know what would make Jon Jones, put Jon Jones over the top and make him an instantaneous fan favorite? If he took just a little drop of Diaz. You know? And could have been heard to say at some point or another, you know what? I don't give a fuck what you guys think. Your Facebook fucking warriors, your laptop heroes, you know, your keyboard fucking Conans. I don't give a shit what you think. You know. I did something that nobody in this fucking industry has done. In one space of one fucking year, beat the 4 top guys in the fucking division. I'm sponsored by Nike. I brought more goodwill to this association than anything else. I have 2 brothers in the fucking NFL. I'm nominated for an ESPY. I saved an old woman the night of my fight. And I'm too cocky? You know what? I got you cocky. I don't see any public figures like me. I see guys up there trembling and apologizing, and the Andrew Dice Clay with the crying and the self-flagellation, and I got caught with a hooker, tranny, hooky. I got caught with a hooky, a trookie, a tranny hooky. I'm crying. I want to apologize to my family, my wife, hey! I got fucking problems too. So I crashed the car drunk. So what? Who among you can cast a stone? Now, you know what? Set it up. Find somebody to beat me. Until then, I'll be getting my cock sucked by a white broad. Can you see John Jones doing that? Can you see John Jones doing that? His parents are actually kind of religious. I think they would die. Maybe there's a reason why I'm not a public figure. You see what they did to Jack Johnson, the kind of public figure whose cloth I'm cut from. Yeah, no. I mean, Mike Tyson, he could walk the walk, but he couldn't really talk the talk, I'll Eat Your Children was good. Scared Cow was good. You couldn't last a minute. My World was good. He had I'll Eat Your Children was good. He had some good ones. But just to spell it out the way it should be spelled out. Don't for a second think because you got some pay-per-view and you're watching a fight in your underwear, don't for a second think that when the guy said, well, my fans, I'm nothing without you. Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm nothing without my trainer. I'm nothing without my team. I'm nothing without God-given fucking talent. I'm nothing without the UFC. I'm just a guy who likes to fight with the UFC. Give credit where credit's due, but let's go down the line. I'm nothing without Bob Meyerowitz. I'm nothing without the Gracies. I'm riding a wave. You don't want to be happy for me? There's a section for the losers out back. Charlie Brenneman, Joe Lausanne. Sorry, you can't fucking eat. Take it up with Dana. Now, me and my testicles will be over here counting cash. But you know what? A guy who says that doesn't get sponsored by Nike. That's the reality of it. A guy like that doesn't get sponsored by Nike. A guy like that doesn't even get sponsored by a fucking beer company. Who would sponsor me? Harley Davidson? Crystal Meth Growers of America? So in any case, look, I think that John Jones, what makes him fun to malign is that he seems to care so much about being maligned. In any case, there's supposed to be a fight. Dana cancels the fight, and Dana has floated off into the murky night. Into the murky night, he has floated off into it. Dumbasses. He has floated off into the murky night, creating some fucking... It's like he took a big shit on Ariane Celeste's face and then floated away, leaving people talking about the shit on her face and not that he shit on her face. I only think of her because she just released a record. The lovely Ariane. A record. Man, I look bad, man. I need to start sleeping. I didn't train twice a day today. I've changed clothes, but it's hours away from when we last talked. Took a shower, washed that shit off my face. I'm a little tired. I gotta get up early. Got band practice. I gotta get up early. We're gonna go into the studio finally and record this Thin Black Duke. We have the songs. I have no vocals. Motherfucker Nico. So anyway, there you go. There's my take on John Jones. The fights were canceled on September 1st. There's some FC fight. A bunch of sports agents were making fun of I almost said the sports agent's name. He wouldn't appreciate this. Making fun of Phil Baroni his knockout over a Brazilian, a terrible Brazilian fighter, Baroni was acting like he knocked out God, posing in the, doing some wild Watusi in the ring with the audience, blowing kisses. You got to be happy for yourself. Nobody's going to be happy for you if you're not happy for yourself, Mr. Baroni. So thank God, New York Badass, I want him to hire me on as a translator. Since nobody knows what the fuck he's saying in press conferences. They're like, what? What he said is. And then I could translate from Brooklyn into English. And don't think that your friends in Williamsburg can tell you. Because anybody, these hipsters who live in fucking East New York, Williamsburg, Bushwick, Fort Greene, these guys are from Minnesota. They don't know shit. Everybody who grew up in New York gone to get the fuck out. It's the guys from Minnesota who want the New York experience. And guys from San Francisco, like a friend of mine who's a famous photographer at this point, says, oh man, New York is tough. The heroin's giving me a run for the money. I gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna go to San Francisco to clean up. You'd be 6 months in San Francisco, man. Whew. I gotta slow down. This speed is killing me. I gotta go back to New York to clean up. He eventually got the fuck out of there and went to North Carolina. Not like that's drug free. Ex-girlfriend, crack whore, had a hard time in North Carolina. Oh, let me straighten that up. She's an ex-girlfriend who became a crack whore. She's not a crack whore who was an ex-girlfriend. I gotta establish that thing, because you see the black skin, you think I live in that street life. I'm living that street life in beautiful downtown Palo Alto, where I went from a beautiful, nice section of Flatbush, Brooklyn. So, but the thing is, I had a roommate once who would tell people, because he came from Portland, that the mainstay of their Sunday dinner was possum, which they would go hunting for in the Cadillac, wearing orange suits, and they would bump the possum just right, and they would take them home, stun them, kill them, and then cook them over the fireplace on a spit. Most people hadn't been to Portland. They did not know this is not something that happened in Portland. Ask Joe Preston. Listen to his show on Combat Music Radio. Also, like I said, I'm trying to get the guys from Bone Reader to set up a face-to-face with me and Anselmo. It could be fun, My understanding is that he pulls his cock out at odd moments to show people how big his cock is. This could largely probably result in both Phil and Anselmo and I entering a domestic partnership with each other. Because I'm so fucking competitive, a guy pulls his cock out to show how big it is. I gotta pull my cock out to show how big it is. Cue the lovers' music. Yeah. What? What, you don't like my joke? I bet you Henry Rollins wouldn't make a joke like that. Oh! Why is that? Fuck that. You know what? I just turned fucking 50 years old. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about any of this. I tell it like it is. It's a show. Knuckle Up. I'm your host where I tell it like it is. Oxbow is playing at ATP all tomorrow's parties. Finally. It only took 12 years for them to figure out where our fucking invitations were. Finally, November 30th, somewhere outside of London. Then I go on tour with L'Enfance Rouge. Fight September 29th in New York City. Light heavyweight. No gi. Jiu-jitsu. IBJJF. Fucking pro invitational. Well, it's not a pro. I'm not a pro, but Wyoming. Not blowing it. Scion. I want to praise its smooth ride and its quiet comfort. Some guy tried to give me a hard time about selling out. I was like, you know what Scion hasn't done? Hasn't stolen a single fucking Oxbow record. That's what they haven't done. So fuck you. Studio time's expensive. I need to pay for it. Well, actually, I don't need to pay. I don't have a nickel to rub together. It's dire, my friends. It's dire. And if anybody else had any money, I'd be stealing it, turning them upside down and shaking them by their ankles. What happened to the TV show Knuckle Up? I don't know. You know, Hollywood types blow smoke up your ass. They come, they make me sign a contract, they put together this 16-page proposal, they run off in the night. I don't know. It's not my job to get the deal. The good part is that I think that Southern will release the play. Anyway, you've got the show. There was no fight this past weekend. I'm trying to get Sarah Kaufman in here. The lovely, lovely Sarah Kaufman coming in to Knuckle Up. Don't know if that's going to happen. Next week, I got some surprises planned. I'm hoping to have Sarah Kaufman on that show, but if not, we'll get maybe the Iron Lady, Jermaine Durandamy. I've not seen her at all since she won her fight in stunning fashion. We have fighters now jumping back and forth between Bellator, FC, and Strikeforce. Interesting. Got Sean Pierre, people known as my son, having his like second, third pro fight, and we have some big secrets coming up about Bellator and Team Serao. So anyway, I don't have the bell with me. We're not mobile. We're still on location. But I hope you enjoyed the show. It's a full, 40 minutes, almost an hour. Dig it, live it, love it. We'll see you next week. So imagine a ding ding in your head and then you'll be there. Later.